My name is Gene. I've been going to Parkway for about 10 years and would like to share the story with you of my sister-in-law, Joanne Bowman's battle with leukemia. In February, I was in Baton Rouge talking with her, and she was talking about being tired all the time. They were getting ready to take a trip to Rome, and she wanted to be able to have the energy and do some things, walking, that she wanted to do. So she decided to go to a friend of theirs who's a physical therapist to get checked out. And he told her before he could put her on a program that she would have to go to the doctor and make sure she was physically fit for a program. So she goes to the doctor, gets her blood work done, and then she gets a call on a Monday morning to come back in. There's something wrong with her blood. He thinks that she has leukemia. So she goes back in to see him on Tuesday morning, and he says, yes, she does have leukemia. And her first thing is, well, I'm coming to MD Anderson in Houston. So they call a doctor and come into MD Anderson in Houston on a Wednesday morning. He does his checks and everything, and he says, yes, you do have leukemia. We need to start chemotherapy right away. That's the day our world got turned upside down, because nothing would be the same going forward. Because through the rounds of chemotherapy, there was a long struggle in staying healthy and having energy to do things just to get to and from the apartment to the hospital for the treatments and back. Saturday morning, she started chemotherapy, went through several rounds of chemotherapy, and actually in a 28-day isolation chemotherapy, which means no one's in a room with you, just doctors and nurses coming in and out. It's very difficult for the body, all the rounds of chemotherapy that she went through. In this process, the only thing that would help her would be a bone marrow transplant. Going through the registry to get a bone marrow donor, they found a boy, 28 years old, from outside of the Houston area who was going to be the donor. In this process, you have to go through the chemotherapy, and on a Friday afternoon, they get a call from the doctor saying the donor's blood was not good. Her comment was, well, maybe I have saved him in finding out that he has a problem. He can get it cured quickly. So through the whole process, her attitude was very good. And I think if you talk to Marty and Jill, you will hear the same thing from them, that her attitude was good. She was still trying to help everybody in the process. So after not having a bone marrow transplant, she was ready to take what was left and go home and enjoy the rest days of her life. The doctor told her, he says, I have one other thing we would like to do. It's more of an experimental drug, experimental procedure. The success rate has been fairly good. Would you like to try that? Convinced her that yes, that's what she would do. So they go into the umbilical cord infusion, and 25 days after doing that, she was supposed to have a bone marrow aspiration to find out if the leukemia is gone. Through all of the chemotherapy, her body started to shut down, the organs started to shut down, so on about day 23, she passed away. Doing the bone marrow aspiration, they found out there was no cancer in the body, so the chemotherapy, the umbilical cord infusion had worked, but all the rounds of chemotherapy had caused the body to shut down. But everyone feels like if she would have been able to have the bone marrow transplant, her chances of survival would have been much greater. And I would suggest anyone who is in the age that can sign up for Be the Match registry and get the swab, that you can possibly save someone, not just in the Houston area, but in the total register area.